Have you ever poured yourself a drink before bed and wondered, am I actually helping my kidneys? Or could I be doing more harm than good? It may sound like a simple question, but after the age of 60, the answer matters more than most people realize. Your kidneys don't suddenly stop working as you get older. Instead, they gradually become less efficient. That means the everyday choices you make, including what you drink before bed, can have a bigger impact than they did years ago. Unfortunately, the internet is full of promises. You've probably seen headlines claiming that one special drink can cleanse your kidneys overnight or reverse years of damage while you sleep. If only it were that simple. The truth is much more reassuring and much more useful. Your kidneys are already designed to clean your blood every single day. They don't need miracle detoxes. What they do need is consistent support through healthy habits, proper hydration, and smart lifestyle choices. And that's where tonight's topic becomes so interesting. There is one simple bedtime drink that many healthcare professionals consider a sensible part of a healthy evening routine for most adults. It's affordable, easy to prepare, and backed by a much more realistic idea than the exaggerated claims you often see online. But before I tell you what it is, there's something even more important. Many adults over 60 make the same evening mistake without realizing it. Ironically, it isn't the drink itself that's causing the problem. It's when they drink, how much they drink, and what else they're consuming before bedtime. That one habit can affect not only your sleep, but also your overall hydration and how comfortable you feel the next morning. So, in today's video, we're going to separate facts from myths. You'll learn what really happens to your kidneys as you age, why your hydration needs may change after 60, which bedtime drink may support a healthy routine, and which popular beverages are worth limiting. If you've ever been told your kidney function is a little lower than expected, or you simply want to take better care of your health as you get older, I encourage you to stay with me until the end. You might discover that one small change to your evening routine is easier than you ever imagined. So let's begin with something every adult should understand. What really happens to your kidneys after the age of 60? Before we talk about the best bedtime drink, there's something far more important to understand. Why do our kidneys become more vulnerable as we get older? The answer isn't as frightening as many people think. In fact, it's a normal part of aging. Your kidneys are remarkable organs. Every single day, they filter nearly 50 gallons of blood, removing waste products, balancing minerals, regulating fluids, and helping control blood pressure. Most of us never think about them because they work quietly in the background, day after day, year after year. But like every other part of the body, your kidneys change with age. After the age of 60, it's common for kidney function to gradually slow down. This doesn't automatically mean you have kidney disease. In many cases, it's simply part of the natural aging process. The challenge is that aging kidneys have less reserve. They may recover more slowly from dehydration, illness, or certain medications. That's why habits that seemed harmless in your 40s can have a bigger impact later in life. Here's something many people don't realize. Your kidneys are closely connected to almost every major system in your body. They help regulate blood pressure. They support healthy levels of important minerals like sodium and potassium. They work with hormones that help produce red blood cells and keep your bones healthy. When your kidneys aren't functioning at their best, the effects may show up in surprising ways. You might notice that your ankles swell by the end of the day. You may feel more tired than usual. You could find yourself getting up more often at night to use the bathroom, or your blood pressure may become harder to control. Of course, these symptoms can have many different causes. They don't automatically point to a kidney problem. That's why it's so important not to diagnose yourself based on a single sign. Instead, think of these changes as signals that it's worth paying attention to your overall health and discussing any concerns with your healthcare provider. Another important fact is that many people with early kidney disease don't feel sick at all. That's one reason regular medical checkups become increasingly valuable after 60. Simple blood and urine tests can often detect changes long before noticeable symptoms appear. The good news is that healthy lifestyle habits can make a meaningful difference. Staying physically active, managing blood pressure, controlling blood sugar if you have diabetes, avoiding smoking, and maintaining proper hydration all help support kidney health over time. Notice I said proper hydration, not excessive hydration. That's an important distinction. Many people believe the more water they drink, the healthier their kidneys will be. But that's not always true. Drinking far more fluid than your body needs isn't necessarily beneficial, and for people with certain medical conditions, it can even be inappropriate. Healthy kidneys work best when they're supported by balance, not extremes. That's exactly why the bedtime drink we're about to discuss isn't special because it's a miracle. It's special because it fits into a balanced, realistic approach to healthy aging. And there's one more detail that surprises many people. It's not only what you drink before bed that matters. The temperature of the drink, the amount you consume, and even the timing can influence your comfort throughout the night. So, what is this simple bedtime drink? And why do many healthcare professionals recommend it as part of a healthy evening routine for older adults? Let's take a closer look. So, what is the bedtime drink we've been talking about? The answer may surprise you because it isn't a trendy superfood, an expensive supplement, or a secret recipe that only doctors know about. For most healthy adults over 60, the best bedtime drink is simply a small glass of plain water. Yes, plain water. It may not sound exciting, but sometimes the simplest choices are the most effective. Here's why. Your kidneys rely on adequate hydration to filter waste products and maintain the right balance of fluids and minerals throughout your body. When you're mildly dehydrated, your kidneys have to work harder to concentrate urine and maintain that balance. Over time, repeated dehydration can increase the risk of problems such as kidney stones in some people and may place additional stress on the kidneys. That doesn't mean you should drink large amounts of water right before bed. In fact, that's one of the biggest misconceptions. A large bottle of water before bedtime may leave you waking up several times during the night to use the bathroom. Interrupted sleep isn't good for your overall health, and poor sleep can affect everything from blood pressure to energy levels the next day. Instead, many healthcare professionals recommend staying well hydrated throughout the day and, if appropriate for your individual health needs, finishing the evening with a modest glass of water. For many people, that's all their body needs. But here's where things become more personal. Not everyone should follow the exact same advice. If you have chronic kidney disease, heart failure, or certain liver conditions, your healthcare provider may recommend limiting fluids. In those situations, drinking extra water, even if it's plain water, may not be the right choice. That's why general health advice should always be adapted to your individual medical history. Now, you might be wondering, what about lemon water? It's a popular question. For some people, adding a small squeeze of fresh lemon to water can make it easier to stay hydrated. Lemon contains natural citrate, which may help reduce the risk of certain types of kidney stones in some individuals. But it's important to keep expectations realistic. Lemon water doesn't cleanse your kidneys, it doesn't reverse kidney disease, and it isn't a replacement for medical treatment. Its greatest benefit is often very simple. It encourages some people to drink enough water throughout the day. The same principle applies to many so-called kidney detox drinks sold online. If someone promises that a tea, powder, or juice will flush toxins from your kidneys overnight, be cautious. Healthy kidneys already remove waste naturally. There's no scientific evidence that special detox drinks can make healthy kidneys perform better or reverse chronic kidney disease. In some cases, herbal products can even interact with medications or contain ingredients that aren't appropriate for people with kidney problems. That's another reason it's wise to discuss supplements with your healthcare provider before trying them. Now, let's talk about one detail that's often overlooked: the temperature of your bedtime drink. Some people enjoy ice-cold water before bed, while others prefer warm water. From a kidney health perspective, there's no strong evidence that one is significantly better than the other. The best choice is usually the one that helps you stay comfortably hydrated without disrupting your sleep. Many older adults find that room temperature or slightly warm water feels gentler in the evening, but personal preference is perfectly reasonable. Remember, consistency matters far more than perfection. A healthy evening routine isn't built around one magical drink. It's built around small, sensible habits repeated day after day. And speaking of habits, there's another evening routine that may have an even greater impact on your kidneys than your bedtime drink. In fact, many adults over 60 do it every single night without realizing the long-term effect it can have. Let's look at that next. Now that we've talked about the bedtime drink itself, let's focus on something that often matters even more: your evening habits. Because even if you choose the right drink, a few common routines before bed can quietly work against your kidneys, and many people don't even realize they're doing them. Let's start with one of the biggest mistakes: waiting until the evening to drink most of your water. It's surprisingly common. Some people stay busy all day, barely taking a sip, and then realize after dinner that they haven't had enough to drink. So they try to catch up by drinking several large glasses of water before bed. At first, that sounds like a healthy idea, but your body doesn't benefit from hydration that way. Instead, drinking most of your fluids late in the evening often means more trips to the bathroom during the night. Interrupted sleep can leave you feeling tired the next day, and over time, poor sleep has been linked to several health problems, including higher blood pressure. A much better approach is to spread your fluid intake throughout the day. Think of hydration as something you do consistently from morning to evening, not all at once. Here's another habit that's easy to overlook: eating a very salty dinner. Sodium plays an important role in the body, but too much of it can make your body hold on to extra fluid and may contribute to higher blood pressure. Since high blood pressure is one of the leading causes of kidney damage, reducing excess sodium is one of the simplest ways to support long-term kidney health. Many of the biggest sources of sodium aren't obvious: canned soups, frozen dinners, processed meats, fast food, packaged snacks. Even foods that don't taste especially salty can contain large amounts of sodium. Reading nutrition labels and preparing more meals at home can make a meaningful difference over time. Now let's talk about another evening habit: taking pain relievers more often than you realize. Many people reach for over-the-counter pain medicines after a long day to ease back pain, knee pain, or arthritis. Used occasionally and as directed, these medications can be appropriate for many people, but frequent or long-term use of certain pain relievers, especially non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, often called NSAIDs, may increase the risk of kidney problems in some individuals, particularly if they already have reduced kidney function or become dehydrated. That doesn't mean you should stop taking prescribed or recommended medications on your own. It simply means it's worth having an honest conversation with your healthcare provider about the safest options for your situation. Now, here's something people rarely connect to kidney health: poor sleep. You may be wondering, what does sleep have to do with my kidneys? Quite a bit, actually. While you sleep, your body carries out many important maintenance processes. Consistently poor sleep has been associated with higher blood pressure, changes in blood sugar regulation, and inflammation, all of which can affect overall health, including kidney health. That's another reason why drinking excessive amounts of water just before bed isn't always helpful. If it causes you to wake up several times every night, the trade-off may not be worth it. The goal isn't simply to drink more. The goal is to support both healthy hydration and restful sleep. Finally, there's one habit that deserves special attention: ignoring regular checkups. Kidney disease is often called a silent condition because many people feel completely fine in the early stages. That's why routine blood tests and urine tests become increasingly important as we get older. They can identify changes in kidney function long before symptoms become noticeable, giving you and your healthcare provider an opportunity to take action early. The encouraging news is that protecting your kidneys doesn't usually require dramatic changes. It's often the small decisions you make every day that matter most: choosing water instead of sugary drinks, staying active, managing blood pressure, eating a balanced diet, getting enough sleep, and staying informed about your health. But there's one final piece of the puzzle that many people overlook:
Certain drinks that seem perfectly harmless in the evening may actually be better enjoyed earlier in the day or in moderation. Let's take a closer look at which beverages deserve extra attention before bedtime, especially after the age of 60. Now that we've covered the habits that support healthy kidneys, let's talk about something many people ask. Are there drinks I should avoid before bed? The answer isn't about fear, it's about making informed choices, because some beverages can affect your sleep, your hydration, or your overall health more than you might expect. Let's start with one of the most common evening drinks: sugary soft drinks. A cold soda after dinner may seem harmless once in a while, but drinking sugary beverages regularly has been linked to a higher risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure. Those conditions are among the leading risk factors for chronic kidney disease. Even if you're not thinking about your kidneys, reducing sugary drinks is one of the simplest ways to support your long-term health. Now, what about fruit juice? Many people assume that because it's made from fruit, it must be a healthy choice. The reality is a little more complicated. While 100% fruit juice contains vitamins, it can also contain a surprising amount of natural sugar. Drinking large servings before bed may not be the best choice, especially for people who are trying to manage their blood sugar. Eating whole fruit is often a more satisfying option because it provides fiber along with its natural nutrients. Next, let's talk about alcohol. Some people enjoy a glass of wine in the evening to relax. Moderate alcohol may be appropriate for some adults depending on their health and medications. However, drinking too much alcohol can contribute to dehydration, interfere with restful sleep, and place extra stress on several organs, including the kidneys. If you choose to drink alcohol, it's worth discussing what's appropriate for you with your healthcare provider, especially if you have kidney disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, or take prescription medications. Now, let's move on to another favorite: coffee and strong tea.
Many people love ending the day with a warm cup of coffee or black tea. The challenge isn't necessarily the drink itself, it's the caffeine. Caffeine can make it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep, particularly as we get older. Since quality sleep is an important part of overall health, many experts recommend limiting caffeine later in the day if you notice it affects your sleep. If you still enjoy a warm drink in the evening, you might consider a caffeine-free alternative that fits your health needs. But remember, not every herbal tea is automatically safe for everyone. Some herbal products contain ingredients that may interact with medications or may not be appropriate for people with kidney disease. That's why it's always a good idea to ask your healthcare provider before making herbal products a regular part of your routine. Here's another beverage that often surprises people: sports drinks. Unless you've been exercising intensely or have a specific medical reason, most people don't need sports drinks before bed. Many contain added sugars or significant amounts of sodium, which may not be necessary for your body's needs. For everyday hydration, plain water is usually enough. And now we've come full circle. After looking at all the options, the recommendation remains remarkably simple. For most healthy adults, the best bedtime drink isn't the one with the fanciest label or the biggest health claims. It's a modest glass of plain water, enjoyed as part of a balanced evening routine. Simple doesn't mean ineffective. In fact, some of the healthiest habits are also the least expensive. Before we finish, there's one final message I'd like to share. It may be the most important part of today's discussion because it isn't about one drink. It's about protecting your kidneys for the years ahead, one small decision at a time. Let's wrap everything together. As we come to the end of today's discussion, I'd like you to remember one simple idea. Good kidney health isn't built in a single night. It's built through small decisions, repeated consistently over months and years. That's actually good news, because it means you don't need expensive supplements, complicated detox programs, or miracle drinks that promise impossible results. Your kidneys aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for consistency. If you're over the age of 60, supporting your kidneys may be as simple as staying well hydrated throughout the day, choosing a balanced diet, keeping your blood pressure under control, staying physically active, and working with your healthcare provider to monitor your health. Those habits may not sound exciting, but they're supported by years of medical research, and they continue to be the foundation of healthy aging. So, what's the takeaway from today's video? For most healthy adults, a small glass of plain water before bed can be a reasonable part of a healthy evening routine, provided it doesn't interfere with your sleep, and your healthcare provider hasn't recommended limiting your fluid intake. If you have chronic kidney disease, heart failure, or another condition that requires fluid restrictions, always follow the guidance of your medical team instead of general advice you find online. Remember, the best health advice is the advice that's personalized to you, and that's something no viral headline can replace. I'd also encourage you to pay attention to your body. Have you noticed swelling in your feet or ankles, changes in your urination, persistent fatigue, or blood pressure that's becoming harder to control? These symptoms don't necessarily mean there's a kidney problem, but they are good reasons to schedule a conversation with your healthcare provider rather than trying to diagnose yourself. Early detection makes a difference. Many kidney conditions can be managed much more effectively when they're found early, often before noticeable symptoms appear. That's why routine checkups, simple blood tests, and urine tests become increasingly important as we get older. Think of them as an investment in your future health. Because protecting your kidneys isn't really about your kidneys alone. Healthy kidneys help support your heart. They help regulate your blood pressure. They contribute to healthy bones. They help your body maintain the right balance of fluids and minerals. In many ways, taking care of your kidneys means taking care of your entire body. So tonight, when you prepare for bed, remember that your evening routine doesn't have to be complicated. A balanced dinner, a sensible amount of water if it's appropriate for your health, a good night's sleep, and another opportunity tomorrow to make healthy choices. Those simple habits may not make headlines, but over time, they can make a meaningful difference. If you found today's video helpful, I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you usually drink before bed? Share your answer in the comments below. Your experience may help someone else who's trying to build healthier habits. And if you enjoy practical, evidence-informed health information designed specifically for adults over 50, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next video. Until next time, take good care of yourself, stay informed, and remember that healthy aging isn't about chasing miracles. It's about making one good decision after another. I'll see you in the next video.